Liam, will you take Sian to be your wife? Will you love her, comfort her, honour and protect her, and forsaking all others, be faithful to her, as long as you both shall live?
I will.
And Sian, will you take Liam to be your husband? Will you love him, comfort him, honour and protect him, and forsaking all others, be faithful to him, as long as you both shall live?
I will.
Like most romantic love stories, myself and Sian actually met in the romantic setting of the Co-op just over 10 years ago. And before any of you asked me today which particular aisle it was where I did my hard grafting, it was actually down the tin aisle, not the frozen as most people normally say to me.
Most best men find it appropriate to talk about how the newlyweds first met. But I'm going to take a slightly different approach and enlighten you all as to how they almost never met. And what I'm trying to say here is it took Liam a little bit of time to ask Sian out. And by a little bit of time, I mean months and months.
One night, I was that desperate to get Sian's number after weeks of us talking via MSN and MySpace that during a drunken night out, I saw one of Sian's friends. As I didn't have the courage to ask Sian's number herself, I approached the friend and asked for the number.
So every week on a Tuesday evening, we would meet in the Dog and Gun pub for a steak and a few ales, where I'd receive a weekly update on how much closer Liam was to asking Sian out. It was painful, very, very painful.
The day after, I decided to chance my arm and text Sian on this newly acquired number. After agonising for roughly about 5 to 10 minutes on what to actually write to Sian, I hit the send button. To my surprise, I actually received a virtual response. I looked through the text zone and noticed on the first few lines, and I thought they seemed pretty similar to me. Then to my horror, I actually realised it was my own message that I was reading back to myself. And that on the night before, when I'd been on the beer and in a drunken haze, I'd actually saved my own number rather than the number that was given to me as Sian's number.
In fact, it was extremely fortunate that by the time Liam finally did pick up the courage to ask her out, that she wasn't already engaged. Who would have thought that 10 years later, I'd be standing here today at their wedding?
Luckily for me, I eventually plucked up the courage to eventually ask Sian out, and we haven't looked back since our romantic first date at Subway.
Love gives naught but itself, and takes naught but from itself. Love possesses not, nor would it be possessed, for love is sufficient unto love. I, Liam, take you, Sian,
I, Liam, take you, Sian,
to be my wife,
to be my wife,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
till death us do part,
till death do us part,
according to God's holy law.
according to God's holy law.
In the presence of God I make this vow.
In the presence of God I make this vow.
Standing here today, I can't help but think of the many times Sian and I have watched the film Father of the Bride together and said jokingly, that'll be us one day. Well, here we are, and what a proud father I am.
I, Sian, take you, Liam,
I, Sian, take you, Liam,
to be my husband,
to be my husband,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
till death us do part,
till death us do part,
according to God's holy law.
according to God's holy law.
In the presence of God I make this vow.
In the presence of God I make this vow.
Sian has always been a happy, sociable and chatty person. She is full of fun, has a great sense of humour and is very caring. At school and uni, she worked hard to achieve her brilliant results. There were times during her second degree she wanted to give up, but with the support and encouragement from Liam, she kept on going.
Growing up with Liam meant we shared many moments and memories together. Some good, some bad and ugly, some funny and plenty of frustrating ones. Now it's fair to say that as kids we were both quite competitive. Consequently, we'd both love to get one over on the other whenever or wherever we could. And that would go with anything, whether it being better at certain sports or computer games or even subjects at school. One example in particular that sticks out in my mind involves the transition from being a boy to becoming a man. Now, I don't know if any of you remember the process of Liam's voice breaking, but for most people it's a slow process that occurs over a solid 6 to 12 months. For Liam, however, it occurred over a solid 6 to 12 hours. And I had the shock of my life the next day when I saw Liam sounding pretty much like he does now, whilst I still sounded like Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees.
Sian, I give you this ring.
Sian, I give you this ring
as a sign of our marriage.
as a sign of our marriage.
With my body, I honour you.
With my body, I honour you.
All that I am, I give to you.
All that I am, I give to you.
And all that I have, I share with you.
And all that I have, I share with you.
Within the love of God,
Within the love of God,
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Liam, I give you this ring
Liam, I give you this ring
as a sign of our marriage.
as a sign of our marriage.
With my body, I honour you.
With my body, I honour you.
All that I am, I give to you.
All that I am, I give to you.
And all that I have, I share with you.
And all that I have, I share with you.
Within the love of God,
Within the love of God,
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
You go, the promises we made, and it's all that I want, and it's all that I need. If I could love you forever, I'd fall to my knees. All that I want, and it's all that I
"10 years have honestly flown by, and as you can see from the table names on show today, Sian has remained as stunning as ever as she looks today, and I couldn't be more proud of all the achievements we've achieved together. Sian, you honestly made me a better person, and I love our life together, and I can't wait for the next chapter to begin. I'm so proud that I'm now able to call you Mrs. Cooper."
In the presence of God and before this congregation, Liam and Sian have given their consent and made their marriage vows to each other. They have declared their marriage by the joining of hands and by the giving and receiving of rings. I therefore proclaim that they are husband and wife. Liam, would you like to kiss your bride?
Firstly, and most importantly, I would like to say how astonishingly beautiful Sian looks today. Liam, you look all right. Sian, I can only imagine how proud Liam must be feeling today to finally call you his wife. You've shown over the years how strong and robust your relationship is and the amazing bond that you both share. I know that Liam is the happiest I've ever seen him in his life, and that is fundamentally down to you.
To formally welcome you into our family, even though you have been part of our family for many years now. It is clear to see how much you care for Sian and what a great son-in-law you will be. So on that note, I ask you all to join in me and wish the bride and groom every success and happiness in the future. Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I raise a toast, I just had a final word for Anthony and Barbara, who, when I asked permission to propose to Sian, had one ask of me, and that was to always make Sian happy. So my promise to you both standing here today is that I always love and always make Sian happy, and it is an honour for me to be part of your family.